What is so significant about Jesus being the true vine? Well, listen to what it says here in Psalms chapter 80, verses 8 and 9. You don't have to turn there, just listen. It says, "You, God, have brought a vine out of Egypt. You have cast out the nations and planted it. You prepared room for it and caused it to take deep root, and it filled the land." Israel was the vine. And when Israel was brought out of Egypt, they were supposed to live set apart for God and be his vine. The vine was supposed to give sustaining life to the nations that were around them. They should have done this because God fought for his people. It says that he cast out the nations, that he planted Israel in the promised land, and he caused them to take deep root. You see that, you read the book of Joshua, that is the conquest of the promised land. And when God gave Israel their enemies, they were expected to be his light among the nations so that others would see how awesome it was to have a relationship with the one true living God. And seeing how awesome it was, it should lead others to faith in the one true living God of Israel. But sadly, for Israel, their relationship with God was a repeated cycle of sin. They would rebel against God. It was a repeated cycle of sin. And because of their sin, it led them to enemy oppression. God gave them over to their enemies within the land. This caused Israel to cry out in national repentance. And because they cried out, God delivered his people. That was national deliverance. This was a rinse and repeat cycle. They would sin, enemy oppression, national repentance, national deliverance. And this happened all the way from the Exodus to Jesus' coming. You see, as God's chosen people, they were expected to be his vine, giving sustaining life to the world around them, but they failed. Now, Jesus comes who declares that he is the true vine. Jesus says elsewhere in chapter 8 that he is the light of the world, and he is the light of the world that shines to all nations to show how awesome it is to have a relationship with the one true living God. See, the moment that we believe in Jesus, we are brought into Christ. And now that we have fellowship with Jesus, that means we are connected to his vine. It is being in fellowship with Jesus that is giving us access to this sustaining life. We need this sustaining life in order to grow in the Christian life.